Hello everyone, welcome back to the Crafty Concepts with Erin YouTube channel. Today I have a scrapbook layout share for you, and I have a whole bunch of boy inspired layouts. Now if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I have two teenage boys, so I do a lot of boy pages. And if you don't have boys, well you probably do, that's why you clicked on this video. But even if you don't, these are layout ideas that will really work for anyone. Let me scoot these out of the way and we will look through them one by one. So this one here is a favorite because I love using hexagons on my layouts for the guys. I just think they have a nice masculine feel. They're super easy. They're great for scraps. I mean, just a little bit of pattern paper and some cardstock. I do have some pattern paper in the background, and you'll notice I wrote the journaling around the border of this frame, which is kind of a fun way to incorporate the story. But super easy. We have a diagonal line created with hexagons and definitely a repeatable pattern. Now, along with boy layouts, I do a lot of camping layouts too, because we spend a lot of time in the wilderness. This collection was, I think, called the Aurora collection, and definitely a camping outdoor themed collection, perfect for boys. I love using blues and greens and browns, earth tones. For my boys, it complements them very well, but I just created this really simple row of tags using pattern paper and the tags and tabs thin cut set. So just again, a great use for scraps because those are all small pieces of paper, and just, you know, a little strip of paper here to kind of finish off the transition between the background and the tags. And then we just built up our embellishment clusters with some stamps and some acrylic pieces and called it done. This one I did several years ago, and it's pretty simple, but I really like it. I cut this circle on my Cricut, and it just creates this nice flow that kind of just draws your eye around the layout. And then we have an arrow pointing to the title, and I just kind of thought it was fun. I've torn the paper to reveal a little bit of background pattern paper here, and then did a little doodly line with my journaling pen around the edge just to kind of finish that off, and then some gears that were cut on the Cricut, and a little tag here and some thread tangles. Like I said, super easy, but I really like the way this turned out. And the background is a wood grain paper pack, which I just absolutely love and is a staple in the craft room for me. This one here is the Urban collection, and I have a double page layout here. This Urban collection was one of my all-time favorites, and it is not available any longer, but it is just so cool. It came out a long time ago, and they did a bring back my pack and brought it back again, and both times it was just really popular because you can see we have all of these pattern papers with visual textures. We got corrugated and like diamond plate, just perfect for boys. I really like to, and little disclaimer here, when I say perfect for boys, I mean my boys. There is nothing wrong at all with putting, you know, flowers, floral elements, things like that on your boy layouts, but scrapbooking is about telling our story, and my boys just, you know, I want to use elements and colors and things that complement their personalities and who they are. So when I make comments like for boys, you know, that's just my boys. But anytime, you know, the gears, arrows, and stars are kind of go-to. You know, I talked about the hexagons, but these are also, you know, kind of go-to embellishments. I dipped these, you know, gears, I cut them out on the Cricut, and then coated them in VersaFine ink and then, or VersaMark ink, and then silver embossing powder to give them that metallic look. You could definitely cut that out of metal paper or kind of like a foil paper as well. But if you don't have foil paper, silver embossing powder works really well. So this one, I just added some distressing to the edge as well, which I like to grunge up my teenage boy layouts because, again, it just kind of fits their little personalities. I'm a big fan of black and yellow color combinations, so this one I just really like. This was a Sweet as Honey collection, and you can see there's that subtle background detail. Again, we have a hexagon element, and I just really like that. These are the acrylic brackets that are fun to kind of highlight journaling or titles. The Hello Handsome, I actually cut that on my, or cut it with the slimline alphabet dies here. for the handsome, and then hello was their foam letters from my stash. And then these were just some cork shapes and some of the stickers from the coordinating sticker sheet. But you can see very little pattern paper. I did a circle just to highlight the title, and this was a pocket card here, and then some scraps of paper. And I really like the way it all works together for these photos of my youngest son Clayton, looking super handsome, hence the title Hello Handsome. This layout I've done a little bit more recently here on my channel. I titled this Oh Snap. It was a visit to the hospital. My youngest son Clayton broke his arm. He got sent flying from the back of a horse and didn't land quite as well as he should have, but it resulted in an unfortunate adventure. But I always recommend documenting the bad times along with the good times because it's all part of life. But the elements were created with a stamp, and then again those same thin cut dies that I just showed you, I created that, and then the stamping is with the brushed alpha stamp. And I really like that stamp because you can see it has kind of this like faded marker look. See how it's kind of worn? I really use that stamp quite a bit for my boys, and I think it complements their photos really nicely. These splatters from the Perfectly Imperfect patterns, and it looks like this, you know, I just splattered on the layout, but that is what I call controlled splatter. So the background, the lined paper, is from the Noteworthy notebook? Noteworthy? Let me find out. You know, I use a collection all year and then I forget what it's called. So yes, Noteworthy paper pack. You can see it's like lined paper and ledger paper, graph paper, and bullet journal. There's even some music note paper, another staple in my craft room. I do want to tell you guys too, this is the core catalog and it's only going through August of 2022. So, you know, sometimes we forget about the core, but there is lots of goodness in there that, you know, if you had it on your list, I don't want you to miss out. Another one I've done more recently here on my channel, and this is from the Fresh Paint collection, which definitely has this kind of, you know, comic book vibe a little bit. So that's what I was thinking with the row of pictures, how a comic would read across. And I like the way that kind of played out on the layout. So I used some tags, cut some pattern paper. This was trimmed from a pocket card. So the title is What Up Bruh? And because that's how teenagers talk to each other. And then these are stamps from the coordinating stamp set, and then again some simple, just, you know, dovetailed pattern paper pieces. I'm getting a little tongue-tied, and more of those brackets. I showed you guys earlier a layout, the Hello Handsome with the brackets. Here I have highlighted the journaling, and it's a fun way to just kind of you know, draw a little attention to that down there, which would otherwise kind of fade away into the background. So for this layout, I did strips of pattern paper, 3 strips of pattern paper, and I just cut this section out of them. I used a square, so I held the square up, the same square, so I got the exact same angles as I cut each of these strips, and then just bumped them down and cut off the bottom. Super simple. And then this was just this little arrow stamp, and I thought it reminded me, or it did remind me, of tire tracks. So I just kind of playfully stamped that on the background because he was at a bike race. And you'll notice I have a lot of distressing on the outside edge of this pattern or cardstock. The Close to My Heart cardstock has a white core, so you can take a nail file or a, you know, just like a little sanding block and get this distress technique, and it's just really cool. I enjoy doing that quite a bit. I should mention too, on this one, that's the pattern block alphabet stamp. So it has these fun patterns and then solid, and I've used it on both of these layouts, as you can see. So it's got a fun, playful vibe. And again, I like to use that a lot for my boy layouts, but you can see the 2 different ways I've used it on these layouts here. This layout, I did a little stash busting and I mixed and matched a whole bunch of different collections. So you can see that urban paper and that I showed you earlier. The brick pattern paper can also be found in the core catalog. It's called the Textures paper pack. So there is the denim and then there's the brick, and this is like a basket weave, burlap, concrete, and I'm not even sure what you'd call that. It's almost like if you were spreading texture on a wall or something like that. But then there's also a wood grain paper pack here. So these are awesome. And again, you can see that perfectly imperfect patterns, that controlled splatter on the background. The game controllers, and then this is Game On and Level Up. Those are from the Level Up stamp set. And then the star and arrow were stamps that I had in my stash. And then this title here, All Day, Every Day, is called Here and Now, and you can see this is great for building titles. So we've got this All Day, Every Day, Live Your Life, Here and Now, Fun, 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 The Greatest, and Hey. So just really fun titles, and you can see they have kind of that doodly look to them, so I really like this one. This layout I did very recently, just at the end of May, but I love it. I love how the little mountain range turned out. That was from a stamp, which was the May stamp of the month. So unfortunately, you cannot get that stamp. But the pattern paper and cardstock here is from the Hope and Kindness collection. And I really love this color palette together. So we have Craft, Pine, and Harbor, and a little bit of Sage. And I'm just documenting my son. He was entered in a bike race, or competing in a bike race, and I really like the way this one came together. The Born to Ride, Awesome, and the little bike here are from the BMX Life stamp. You can see all of those little, there's the bike, and then the Awesome, and then Born to Ride. And I just cut that out on a circle and made a little, embellishment cluster for my title. And if you are, if you or your kids are into any type of bikes, mountain bikes, road bikes, I mean, these would work for so many different bike lover layouts. So this was a must-have for me. Now this layout is also featuring the Fresh Paint collection, and I had a lot of fun with this one. The color palette is vibrant, and I really enjoyed using these fun wings from the sticker sheet, and just like these little acrylic pieces and dripping paint. This is from a stamp, and then these are from the Fresh Paint acrylic shapes, and I think it's fun. I really like it. So he's tearing it up on his little mini bike there, and this little motocross guy is not from the BMX Life. That one is from a stamp set called Where the Road Ends, and this is a little dirt bike and quads and jeeps, and there's some tire tracks on there. And I created this little off-road only sign from this stamp set also. So lots of fun things going on this page. Oh, and the lined paper is also from the Noteworthy paper pack there. I did mix that in with the rest of these from the Fresh Paint collection. Here's another layout featuring Urban, and I want you to notice the layout here. This is a fun layout, and it's really simple. We just have strips of paper, and you can see, this one's the longest, and they go up a little, and again, repeating the same design element on the top there. It's a great, you could do one center piece, or you could even do, a row of photos going across. Lots of things you can do with this kind of base sketch here. But this again is the Urban collection, and you can tell we've been into mountain biking for a long time. This was my son's 16th birthday, which was a couple years ago, and I just used stamps. These are all stamps to create the title and the sentiment here, and all of these as well. So I really love how that one turned out. Now I'm going to show you these layouts all kind of together because they are from the same collection. This is a Smarty Pants collection, and I want to show you these because again, they're from the core catalog, and this again, it ends in August. So the Smarty Pants collection is great for back to school or just school activities, anything to do with school. I mean, you can use it for a lot more, but it is definitely geared towards back to school. So I just did a layout here recently on my channel actually, so hopefully you guys caught that one. But you can see there's lots of like the fun sticker sheet and then all these great pattern papers. But this is the collection I created all of these layouts with. So for this layout, you can definitely see I stuck with the whole school theme of the Smarty Pants collection, but he had just earned the honor roll, so we were documenting that particular memory. And I have a lot of both stickers and, stamps on this layout. So the books and the amazing and let's see what else. The ruler are all from the coordinating sticker sheet. And then there is a Smarty Pants stamp set. So the A+, the pencil, the apple, and then then You Can't Spell Awesome Without Me all come from the coordinating stamp set. One of my favorite elements of this layout is this little pocket, and this is the date stamp, and it's so fun because it creates a library card, and you have a lot of different stamp sets that you can add to it. I used it here to incorporate my journaling for this layout, but here, I'll show you in the catalog here. It's just really fun. So here's that Smarty Pants stamp that I also used, but this is the date stamp. So you can see you get the stamp and die set for the library card. You get the die set that creates the pocket. And then there's all of these different, there's, days of the week, and then months of the year, there's dates, and then all sorts of different combinations that you can create, like I wrote remember this day, or I stamped remember this day, but there's also, on this day or on this night or, weekend, life, all sorts of different things you can mix and match. And that's a cute layout there too. For our next layout, this one is a double page layout, and you can see I've used Smarty Pants, but I have done a construction themed, let me move that one out there, we'll come back to that one, but I've created a construction themed layout with the same collection. So you can see there's that ruler. It's actually a 12-inch strip. I had cut it down on the last page, and then these are pocket cards. So I like to get the coordinating picture of my live cards and use them on my 12 by 12 layouts. This here is a pocket card. I cut it in half and just tucked it in the top and bottom. The Work, Learn, and Grow, I thought it was perfect because they're learning how to do, they're building a tack shed with their dad, and he's teaching them some invaluable skills. So this Ready to Learn can be, used for so much more than just school. And then we have some definitions, and then I added some wooden arrows because I like the little wood element. And again, arrows are kind of a go-to for my boy layouts. And then again, stickers from the sticker sheet. I tucked a tag in just to kind of pop all of these embellishments and tie them in together, and a couple pencils from that same stamp set here. And then I'll bring back in that other one here. This, again, Smarty Pants, but I didn't stick with the school themed. I'm documenting my son's love for reading. So there are some fun stamps, the In a Book stamp, and that is where the sentiment and the little stack of books came from. And then the pocket card is from the Smarty Pants collection along with all the pattern papers. And we just did a little splattering on the background. There's a little wooden bracket, again, just kind of drawing attention and highlighting the little title element there. So I hope this gave you some great ideas for documenting those boys in your life. And like I said, they can be used for anything. This layout, there's lots of tips on here and design elements that you can use to document just about anyone and anything that you have photos of. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are interested in seeing any of these layouts come together, I'll have them listed in the description box below. You can check that out. Just click the See More arrow. And if you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you join the Crafty Concepts with Erin community. So hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you'll be notified anytime I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. For more inspiration, you could check out my Scrapbooking the Boys playlist right here, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.